boys, and they've retired from a nursing career because Plexus is now their sole income. They've learned how to get there from there, and they did it by managing their time right. She's going to tell you how to do it right now. Please welcome Sara Marble.
The good news is I think I met at least half of you yesterday and got to talk to you. The bad news is my voice might not last through this whole 30 minutes because I got to talk to so many of you. So bear with me if we have some cracks and stuff with my voice, but I've been resting it today, so we'll see. The other thing I wanted to start with is to say, dream big, you guys. If I get the tears out of the way at the beginning, then we can just move right on with the presentation. So we'll do that. 3 very short years ago, I sat in a convention room that was probably equal to one of these sections with less than 300 people. And I was the very eager silver ambassador. In that room, I'll never forget, my dad leaned forward and whispered into my ear. He said, "You're going to be on that stage, and you're going to do something really amazing." It's amazing when you have people who believe in you and you're given an opportunity in a company to do something absolutely amazing, what your life can be. So I'm thrilled that you guys are all here. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my story first. I'm a registered nurse. I worked labor and delivery. I actually started as an ICU nurse and my husband there. And I thought that I had to be in the medical field to help people. I did not know there was something out there called network marketing. I was actually introduced to the product Plexus Slim. I have 2 health testimonies. The first time I tried it, I lost 25 pounds without even thinking about it. Got healthy and ended up with our surprise baby number 3. A lot of you have seen Hudson following me on Facebook. That pregnancy with Hudson was very difficult. I gained quite a bit of weight. I had high blood pressure with the pregnancy. I swelled. It was just not a very good time. Ended up with a lot of extra weight. My second Plexus testimony is that I have now lost 92 pounds. I kept it off for over a year. Thank you. When you find products that work and it's paired with a company that's amazing, amazing things can happen. The opportunity has been something, like I said, I didn't know I was looking for it, but when I found it, it was the best accident that I had stumbled on. This is a picture of my family, my husband and my 3 boys, Jackson, Logan, and Hudson, and they're my why. I always just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That was my dream. Working 12-hour night shifts makes it really hard to do that. I found myself missing out on the soccer games and the t-ball games. I worked Friday night and then I would either give up sleep Saturday to go be a grouchy mom at the ball field or need to come home and sleep so I could go back and work. How many here work night shifts, 12-hour shifts? Yeah. It can be hard on you, it really can. As I started losing weight and sharing about the products, I realized, wow, this really could be something. I will tell you though, it is not necessarily a smooth transition from going to your job and then learning how to work from home. So I'm going to share with you today a little bit about what I've learned. Now, you see the coordinating outfits and the nice sunshine, you can imagine the waves. This really is more what my house looks like. Don't let that other picture fool you. We were yelling and screaming at each other before the picture. Right after the picture, the kids went running. So it's not all perfect and sunshine and roses. So I just want to share with you a little bit about tips to manage your time and to be organized so that you guys can be as successful as you want to be in this business. What is freedom? If you're able to manage your time and be effective in your business, it is amazing the freedoms that you will be allowed. And if I were to ask every single person in this room, what does freedom mean to you? Have we not already heard some amazing stories this weekend from people, the freedom that they're experiencing, whether it's time freedom, financial freedom, right? If you ask Jetty, he'd say time freedom would probably be getting in his Jeep and going off riding and doing whatever. If you ask my parents, Jay and Cindy Jenkins, it might be golfing, traveling, being able to keep up with 10 grandkids. That time freedom, the financial freedom of knowing that you're going to be able to pay that next bill without stressing out about things. It can be whatever you want it to be. So that's a great goal to be able to manage that. I just wrote this up here. Network marketing offers a unique opportunity to build a life where you get to set the priorities. Schedule your life around what is important to you. But something that I learned, if you're a slave to the business, it will wear you out fast. Now, I'm not going to give you anything that you haven't heard before. I just want to let you know, kind of from a personal note, where I was and what I'm trying to do now to be effective, because it is very hard. I came to a point where, about a year and a half ago, January, I was worn out. I wasn't doing it the right way. I wasn't managing my time effectively. I'll never forget the day I called my upline, Amy Sage, and I said, I'm canceling our conference calls. I can't do it anymore. I'm giving too much to too many. My family was suffering. Things just were hectic and stressful and chaotic. And she was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I said, I'm done. And I really needed to regroup and figure out, how can I do this part-time, but how can I do it well so that I'm not running around like a crazy person? A lot of people have said, with network marketing, nobody's going to want to join our teams if we're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. If we're on the phone all of the time, 24/7, giving everything to everyone, nobody's going to see that freedom. They're not going to see us enjoying life with our kids, going on vacations, doing whatever it is to where we can unplug and be effective. So, number one thing, I'm just going to give you a few tips. Like I said, it's not going to be anything earth-shattering or new that you've heard, but I just want to give you my tip on what's been helpful for me. Determining what your goals are. That's going to be different for everybody. For me, when I started out, I just wanted to earn enough to be able to make enough money to get my products. That was my first goal. I didn't know it was going to be easy to do that, so I bumped my goal up a little bit and started dreaming a little bit bigger. What you set your goal at, it's going to determine the amount of time that you want to put into your business. About 10 to 15 hours a week, I would say. How many people would say they work about 2 hours a day, maybe 10 to 15 hours a week on their Plexus business? If you're building a substantial business and you want that, that's probably a pretty good goal with that. Number two, this is huge, you guys. I brought this out here to show you guys. Establish priorities. We're going to talk about, get down to the nitty-gritty of business in a second. If you establish your priorities to start with, you're not going to have your Plexus business take over your life. So for me, it's just God, and then it's family, and then it's Plexus. If I block out time that I know these are the times that I'm going to be working, these are the times I'm going to have with my family, this is going to be family night, this is going to be date night. If I actually use an actual spiral planner and block out that time. I would encourage you guys to do that, because then if somebody called and said, hey, can you come do a training for me Saturday, the whatever, if on your calendar it already says you're doing family time that day, you've already set aside that time, it's really easy to tell your team, I'm sorry, with the priorities that I've set, I've already got some family time scheduled there, so no, I can't do that training. Or a three-way call, if it's movie night with your kids and you've already blocked that. So establish your priorities so you know where you are and what decisions you can make for your life. So like I said, I actually use this planner, and it's an awesome thing. Date night, family night, that all needs to be planned out. A to-do list. Write down the things that you want to get done daily, weekly, monthly, and work on that list. And when you're achieving those things, check those things off and go down the list. That can be very, very helpful. Then your personal time. I have to tell you guys, before convention last year, I had a goal. I started working out with a trainer. I had that time set in my calendar. That's when I was going to work out. That was me time. That was what I was going to do to help me to get fit and feel really good. As soon as I hit my goal weight, right for convention last year, I fired my trainer. It's like, okay, I'm done, we're good. I don't need you anymore. Do you want to know, because I erased that out of my planner as the time block for me to work out, I didn't work out. I told myself I was going to work out. It's like, oh, I've got this, I can do it. But because it was not on my to-do list anymore, and it was not actually 9 to 10 o'clock, Fred is going to kick your butt at the gym. I did not go do that anymore. So I rehired him and I'm back on track because I know now it's in my planner. And I will tell you guys, exercise is awesome. If you're feeling stressed out, even if it's just a casual walk around the block, if it's a regular morning 4-mile walk, I don't really like cardio, so I do weights and a bunch of other crazy things. That's gonna help you to clear your mind and feel good and be more effective in your business if you feel good. Now that I have that back on my calendar, I don't miss it. Monday to Wednesday from 9 to 10, everybody knows I'm not answering phone calls, I'm not answering emails because I am doing that for me. So, last thing is schedule your hours of operation. And this is what I'm going to talk about for the rest of the time, is how you schedule your business time to be the most effective. Okay, so you're going to plan your work and work your plan. What does that mean? When you're actually deciding, okay, I'm going to work 1 hour a day consistently, or 2 hours a day consistently, whatever it is that you've decided based on your goals and your priorities, you're going to be able to write that down. Now, when you're doing your business hours, the first thing you want to do is income producing activities. How many of you, when you start your day, your tendency is to jump on and start answering emails? Do you guys have a big email list everybody wants to get on? I will tell you that's probably not the best way to start your business day, because you're going to get bogged down in, your team needs this, customers need that, and that's not going to be something that's income producing. Income producing activities would be something that's either going to bring new team members or new customers. So that needs to be your priority when you are now, you've done your schedule where you've got, for me, God, family, Plexus. When I'm doing Plexus, these are my business hours. When I start my business hours, for me it's nap time. When Hudson goes down and stops terrorizing the house, those are my business hours, whatever time that is. I'm gonna take those business hours and start with, who am I gonna follow up with, who am I gonna reach out to, what am I gonna do to help bring new team members in and new customers in. I've heard this before, you'll probably hear it again before the weekend's over. What is it not? Income producing activities is not doing emails, not jumping in those Facebook groups saying you're gonna network, take your business to the next level, and getting sucked in to 2 hours. How many people have honestly gotten on Facebook because they were gonna work their business? And then they got up 2 hours later and realized, well, you learned a whole lot about people you don't even know, but you didn't get any business done, right? And I have to tell you, I learned the hard way. I've had a little bit of a reputation that I probably know a lot about what's going on with a lot of people because I keep up on Facebook quite a bit. That is not going to move my business forward. Now, Facebook can be an awesome tool, and I do use it. It's a great way to network and to touch base with people. I follow up with my customers that way. But you need to remember, being active in your business versus being productive are two totally different things. For me, being active was sitting on my computer for 2 hours, scrolling the Facebook groups, getting involved in drama, getting up, and 2 hours later realizing I did not do anything in those 2 hours to advance my business. Okay. Now, moving along with planning your work and working your plan. The number one thing that I hear from my new team members is, what is work? Okay, I'm sitting down, I'm gonna start my day. There are several different formulas, and I know Sheila and all them, you guys have covered the perfect 10 with what you guys do for a daily activity. There's lots of ways it's been explained. Basically, it's just a plan of action for you to know what you're gonna do in your income producing activities. I like the 5-3-1. If you share either the business or the products with 5 new people, and then 3 is follow up with 3 new people, and 1 is either mentor, coach, or train 1 new team member. If you do that either daily or weekly, based on what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish in your business, that is going to keep you on track with your time management and doing your business income producing activities. Now, what does sharing with 5 people look like? It was awesome to see Eric Worre here. How many absolutely love Eric Worre and what he had to say? I will tell you, I had just found him in his book GoPro right before the last leadership retreat, and it was gold to me to say, oh my goodness, there's actually skills that we can learn and skills that we can practice and we can get better at it. So in sharing with 5 new people, I'm going to divert to Eric Worre, and if you guys don't have the book GoPro or the audio, get that, because that actually sharing, learning how to present the business, present the opportunity, all of that's actually a skill that you can learn and you can get better at. So I'm not going to go into what that is for the 5-3-1. Just know that it could be when I run errands out with the kids, I'm going to put 5 business cards in my pocket. And when I'm talking to people throughout the day, I'll know that I shared with 5 new people when I come home and I don't have those 5 business cards in my pocket anymore. But just setting those goals to be able to share either the business or the products with 5 new people every day or every week. Now, following up with 3 people, again, this is a skill. This is where I dropped the ball a lot. I was sharing. Lots of people knew I was doing Plexus, it was out there, but I was not good about follow-up. That's where my spiral planner also comes in really well, because when I do my to-do list and when I block my time with my priorities, as soon as I either sell a 3-day trial, talk to somebody new, touch base with somebody on Facebook, I'm gonna write it on my planner what day I talk to them. And then I'll know what day I need to follow up with them. When I follow up with them in my planner, I write down what they said. Was it a yes? Was it a no? Was it a maybe? Was it what I needed to do? So that have some sort of system that you can keep track of. Because if you guys are selling 10 3-day trials a week, that's awesome. If you're just selling them and not ever following up with the people that are getting them, that's not going to benefit you at all. I will tell you, mentor, coach, and train 1 team person. This was huge for me. I actually think I put this in one of my later slides, but I'll cover it now while I'm thinking about it. When I kind of had that little bit of a breakdown and I felt like, okay, there's no more of me left to give, I realized that I was giving so much to so many, my personals weren't getting the training that they needed so that they could then duplicate down. And that's the beauty of this business. If we keep it simple and share with those people that are close to us, they'll be able to go turn around and do that same thing for the next level down. So I really started focusing in on checking in with my leaders, making sure they all were on track and what they needed to do with their goals, dreams, and visions. And that started trickling down. And when I started doing that, they started doing their own team calls. They started managing their own team pages. It's been absolutely remarkable to watch my leaders be able to help in all of us working together to effectively manage our time. Okay, leading versus training, or leading and training with leader versus manager. This was another one that I stumbled into. I got to a point where I kind of felt like I have an awesome team, this is great. And I shifted over to manager mode. Does anybody know what manager mode is? Manager mode is where you're just kind of monitoring what everybody else is doing. For me, that was obsessively running list view reports. Let's see who signed somebody up today. And it was all focused on what somebody else on my team was doing. Well, it doesn't take very long for you to figure out. That doesn't get it done when you take the focus off doing what you need to do, because you're worried and waiting for everybody else to do stuff. So in order to build a team with leaders below you, it's essential to effectively manage your time. But don't always try to be the hero. If you're in manager mode, always trying to take care of everything for everyone and manage all of the people, manage all of the drama, manage all of the issues, that is going to suck you in and it's going to distract you. Some people, personality-wise, actually feel like they need to be the hero. They want to be the only one that has those answers because they want their team to need them. That's not something that we want. That's not going to be okay for you. Eventually, that's going to wear you out. If you're running around being the hero to everyone and managing instead of truly leading and focusing on what you need to be doing, it's going to really wear you out. 3 things in some of the reading and training that I've done, 3 questions that are really good to ask yourself is this simple? Does it work? And can I do it? 3 really great things. If what I'm doing isn't simple, isn't working, it isn't something that anybody who joins my team can do, it's probably going to be a red flag for something that's not really going to work. Now, if you find your points are dwindling, or wait a second, what's going on here? I have found, for me, I was able to pinpoint, Sarah, you haven't recruited anybody this month, or for 2 months, or even for 3 months. You've been there's that darn fly. They jinxed me back there. They were all doing the happy dance that the fly was gone today. Okay, I have to get back on my train of thought. Sorry. We might just have to skip to the next slide. Okay, no, I remember. Managing. When you're in manager mode, I realized, oh my gosh, it's been 3 months and I haven't recruited anybody because I was so busy worrying about everybody else. As soon as I clicked back over into, okay, what do I need to do? What's my role as a leader? I need to be setting goals, managing my priorities, moving forward, bringing new people onto the team, getting them trained. When you switch back into that leader role instead of the manager role, it's amazing what can happen there. True leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. And isn't it amazing? Just like Helen said, Sheila signed Helen up, but Helen was, halfway across the country. She didn't have her necessarily holding her hand and being that everything. It was great to have an awesome upline, but it's a really good sign when you have leaders below you that don't need you for everything. When they start taking the ball and running with it and just checking in with you the next week and the next week to tell you all the amazing things that are happening, and you didn't really have to do anything because they kind of run with it, that's a really, really sweet spot to be in your business. So just remember that. Okay, administration. This is something that probably bogs the most people down, but really needs to be the smallest amount of time that you spend on something because it can really zap your time, zap your energy. So, if there's something that one, you don't like to do, two, you're not good at, delegate. Because if you can delegate for somebody else to help you, that's going to be really, really good for you to effectively manage your time. Now, what does that look like for me? I don't know if anybody loves to do this, but I actually hate mopping floors. I hate scrubbing toilets. There are just some things that, that was the very first thing in my business that helped me that I delegated. If I can pay somebody $15 an hour to come scrub my floors for me, one, I'm getting out of something I hate. Two, my husband's gonna be happy because the floors are clean and I didn't have to do it. Three, if I take that hour that I just paid somebody to do something I hate and I go work my business, is that not something that's awesome? That's gonna be managing your time well? Yes, absolutely. You can take that a few different ways. If you happen to find an amazing babysitter like I have, Hudson absolutely adores our nanny, Heather. Heather comes over and helps me. It is so worth my time to have a happy 2-year-old that gets to go on nature walks and do all of that. They go do their thing, and then I have that time scheduled. Okay, I'm gonna be effective in my business for 1 hour here. So if you can delegate, that's really going to be able to help you free up some time. If you only have an hour or two to work your business, figure out what is it that I can trade so that I can effectively work my business and delegate something else. Some tools that you can use to help so you don't have to be everything for everyone is, I use freeconferencecall.com, and I know tons of you all do your own conference calls. I found that I was on the phone all the time, and I'm only one person, and when I was answering the same question over and over and over again, it's like, let's all get on a conference call. I'll say it one time, and 200 people can all hear the answer together. It was a really good concept. So if you guys don't have that, jump on freeconferencecall.com and sign up for an account because it's easy. You can record the calls and post them for your teams. It's a really, really good resource for you to be able to use. Facebook groups, if used effectively, can be really, really good. You can jump on, you can post recognition, you can post updates, you can do things so that a lot of people plug in. Be careful though, because I think that really is the #1 time zapper that's going to take away from your business. I have a group for my first 3 levels, and so we do a lot of where we have the timing there. I just looked at the clock and said timing. We have a lot of stuff that goes on close to me in those first 3 levels, and then they have their own pages that trickle down. So I try not to get caught up in that. And then record keeping. You heard Rachel talk about a few things. I absolutely adore TaxSpot, something quick and easy. I have my receipt. You know, I log in what I spent, take the pictures of it, and it's a really good thing. If there's any tools or resources that you can use to help manage your time on those tedious things that you get hung up with, absolutely do that. And now personal growth and development. I really have to say, this has been the pivotal and monumental change in where my business started to take off. After I hit Emerald, I really started searching. I was new to network marketing. I did not have a history in knowing what this profession was. And it was really, really helpful for me to start reading, to start listening to audios, to start absorbing things that could help me be better in my business. And a lot of people say, you know what, I don't have time for that. Well, how many of you have a favorite show that you watch in the evenings on TV? You know, you've got a TiVo or DVR. For me, it was Parenthood. We had The Good Wife. I was a die-hard American Idol fan from the very beginning. You know, I voted for Kelly Clarkson all the way in the very first season. Yep, Carrie Underwood too. So, I would tell you, oh, I'm a crazy busy mom, I don't have time. I can't do that. Well, really, I did have time. And when I found the ways to switch that out and use my entertainment time then for education time, I can honestly say, I don't even remember the last time I sat down and watched a TV show. Giving up the hour or 2 in the evenings before I went to bed and reading and learning and growing was absolutely huge for what it did for my business. There's CDs, videos, webinars, blogs, you name it. I've got a few favorites. Sarah Robbins is one of my mentors that I absolutely adore. She's got a lot of really good neutral network marketing training. I give everybody a copy of GoPro that signs up on my team because it really is so laid out simply. These are skills that you can practice and get good at, and it will help you. But guess what happens? When you find really good growth and development materials, when somebody joins my team, I can hand them a copy of GoPro, I can hand them a copy of How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins, and I can say, read those and then call me. Because that's training that's already out there, that's already been done. Why am I going to sit down with somebody for 3 hours? If that information can be given to them, and then we can have a heart-to-heart over coffee, and they can talk to me about their dreams and their goals and their wishes, and I can help take them to the next level with what they have questions about. But actually bringing in and using those tools and resources is so much more effective in managing your time because I don't have to share all that information that's already out there. Now another thing is, how many moms do we have out there? How many soccer moms? Yes, awesome. How many times are you in the car for carpool line, going to soccer games? I mean, we're in the car running kids here, there, and everywhere all the time. I have audios in my every car all the time. Even if it's only a 5-minute trip, you know, you'll see me, I'll have a new CD. I'm always listening to new CDs, even if it's only 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll sit in the driveway and the kids will come out like, Mom, what are you doing? I'm like, I have to get to the end of my tape, it's okay. Or I'm just hiding, you know, just leave me in the driveway and listen to my personal growth and development. So I really, really encourage you guys to start trading, even if it's just 5 minutes or 10 minutes in personal growth and development. I have a list of about 30 of my favorites. If you guys want to ask me, or I'll post it somewhere, I'd be happy to share that with you. So, in wrapping up, because I have 1 minute, I love this quote. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And somebody else mentioned this too. If you can plug your people into tools and resources that are already available to us, that's time that you don't have to give away, because those are answers to questions that you don't have to give. We have an amazing website. Who's excited about the new website that we're going to get? So if people are asking you questions that all of the answers are laid out on the website, don't stay on the phone for half an hour and answer all of those questions. Guide them to that website so then they know I don't have to ask this question again, because here's where you find the answer. You guys would be shocked at some of the phone calls. You know, can I have the phone number to this? Can I have the information for that? So if you tell them where to plug in, you're not going to have to waste your time in answering all of those things. We have the conference calls. I mean, I could go on and on about all the resources. Plexus has made it so easy and so simple to do our business with the tools that they give us. Use them effectively. We didn't even chat about sharing the 531 that can all be done, or even the perfect 10 on a Wednesday night call. There you go, 20 minutes, and you get that all out of the way. Bam, bam, bam. Now, why would you waste your time if that's already an awesome tool that's in place? So, teach and train and point them where they need to go, and you won't be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. So, in closing, since my timer is beeping at me, what is important to you? What do you want? These are all things that you need to answer, and what are you willing to do to get there? And I have to say, with Plexus, you truly can build the life of your dreams. So, thank you guys for